The sun's rays beamed brightly through the open kitchen window. Spring had arrived with warm, sweet air nestled in its arms. This morning felt different. Our windows lay bare, no curtains or blinds to stop the outside world from looking in. I could hear Devon's conversation with the next door neighbor and the chatter of children as they hurriedly made their way to school. Whispers still rippled throughout the neighborhood about Devon and me, with absurd accusations of theft. I promise we didn't steal the money, nor did we steal this house. The old man gave it to us. Despite the drama, I tried to ignore it all, but it still gnawed at me. In a strange way, I felt relieved that we were finally leaving this house, this city, and these people. Imagine inheriting a house from a deceased owner. It's not that we're ungrateful, but it was a tough situation. We had little money, no furniture, just the house. We moved in during the winter and the hardwood floors felt like ice. The pipes froze frequently and we couldn't afford the high oil prices. Devin suggested we layer our clothes instead of turning up the heat. It may sound cheap, but he terms it as being frugal. It's amazing the lengths we'll go to for love. There were times when I wanted to ask my parents for a space heater, but I didn't want to embarrass my husband. As I stood in the kitchen, I couldn't help but notice the clean but outdated decor. The tile counter was adorned with accent tiles featuring farm animals and barns, but it was clear that the space needed a fresh coat of paint and a new floor. Despite its imperfections, we knew that this kitchen would serve the next family just as well as it had served us. Devin returned looking agitated, and although I was supposed to be packing so we could hit the road, I felt exhausted. "Sweetie, don't forget to get the last box in the corner. It's over there." He pointed to a box labeled fragile, filled with carefully wrapped crystal hangings and folded lilac curtains, precious mementos from our wedding day. "Yes, babes," I motioned towards the living room to gather the things. Suddenly my knees gave out and my head swam with dizziness. "What's going on?" asked my husband, who was standing nearby. "I don't know," I replied, struggling to regain my composure. Despite my efforts, the overwhelming emotion continued to affect me. "Take a seat, Jackie. I'll get it." He's so caring. Did I mention how much I love my husband? Even after 10 years of marriage, the sounds of his voice still strums the strings that make my heart sing. Whew. I can't believe that I ever wanted to be with his cousin, but that's a long story for another time. Taking a seat at the wooden table wedged in the corner of our kitchen, I couldn't help but reminisce. This table, our beloved kitchen table, had served us well. It was rescued by Devin from a curve on his way home one night, and although I wasn't convinced about bringing roadside furniture into our home, Devin patiently sanitized, cleaned, and painted it each night after work, insisting that it would look good if only I gave it a chance. He was right. The table proved to be useful, too. Devin studied here many a day, and I found it to be the perfect size for my used art and sewing projects. Our babies ate their first meal right here, often making a real mess. If you look closely enough, you'll still see Samuel's love note, "I love Mom," written with a permanent marker. His sister Leah followed suit and carved her love note, filling it with glitter and glue for added flair. I was upset that day, but their father said, "Leave it alone because they were just expressing themselves." He even claimed that it gave the table character. Our love was like this table, and I would have never guessed that something so right could start off so wrong. Despite everything that happened, we were overjoyed to have a place to live and start our own family. It wasn't easy, and sometimes I still wonder how we stayed together, despite the rumors and the people who wanted to see us fail.